and sisters, thank you for being here with us today. My name is Pablo Ruiz. I am the political director of 32 BJ. Thank you. And I'm here to introduce a collection of speakers that are going to talk to us about why we are here today. The Protecting Massachusetts Communities Coalition is a new coalition working to advance legislation and policy to protect our brother and sister immigrants. PMC is chaired by the MIRA Coalition and the Brazilian Workers Center, and includes the ACLU, SEIU State Council, SEIU 32BJ, 1199, SEIU, SEIU 509, Mass Teachers Association, and JALSA. You can hear from some of these leaders from this committee representing the broader coalition in regards to priorities and bills that will be heard today. First, I want to welcome and turn it over to Director of MIRA's Advocacy, Gil Calderin.
Buenos dias, mi gente. Bon dia, bonjour. Thank you, all of you, for being here. My name is Gil Calderin. I'm the Director of Advocacy at the MIRA Coalition, and I'm so grateful for all of you for being here today and standing with us all. Before I begin, I just want to thank the Brazilian Workers Center for all the work that you folks have been doing. I know there's wonderful delegations of representatives, so thank you so much for being here. So we gather here today as the Protecting Massachusetts Communities campaign, a broad coalition of advocates, labor partners, lawyers, and faith leaders, and directly impacted immigrants who have come together to confront the deepening harm caused by the federal immigration enforcement. And we stand here today because it is our shared responsibility, not only for the sake of immigrant families' humanity, but for the safety and survival of every one of us, to ensure that the laws in Massachusetts protects all of us. The Safe Communities Act, the Access to Justice Act, the Immigrant Legal Defense Act, and the Dignity Not Deportations Act all carry the power to safeguard our communities from egregious civil rights violations. But the most important word in any of these bills is the last one, act. So today we call on our lawmakers, those we've entrusted with our rights, to pass any one of these bills immediately and to include our 3 priority protections in them. The first one, Massachusetts must not assist ICE in civil immigration enforcement. 2, local police must not be turned into ICE agents. And 3, the Commonwealth must fund legal representations for immigrants facing deportation. And we're here today because those issues are not abstract. They are lived every single day. And an unexpected knock on the door, a simple trip to the grocery store, the school carpool line. These everyday moments should feel harmless. But for too many of our friends, neighbors, caregivers, and children, they all are filled with fear. Because the line between public safety and federal immigration enforcement has been blurred. We're all bound together in the legacy we're writing here today. My safety is your safety, and yours is mine. Because when a society stops seeing the people we stand next to in the grocery line or ride the bus with as human beings with beating hearts, it's not long before that devolves into no society at all. Our strength as members of the PNC Coalition is our commitment to ensuring basic freedoms for everyone. The right to open your door with a smile instead of fear. The right to work in a safe and non-exploitative environment. And the right to an attorney if you suddenly find yourself up against the full force of the government's legal system. We are safest when every person in our community feels empowered to speak up and protect one another. When I look out today, I see the very best of who we all can be. A community that is dedicated to seeing humanity in one another and leading with love for our neighbors. I believe that the folks we have elected to represent our interests do too, and that's why I'm confident that our call for humanity will be heeded in the name of all that is just. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill. Next, my pleasure to introduce Laura Rotolo, Senior Advocacy Director for Field Initiatives from the ACLU of Massachusetts. Laura.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be with you this morning, and thank you for coming out on this cool day. You know, the ACLU is 105 years old. We've been through 19 presidencies. We have seen a lot. And I can tell you, we are living in unprecedented times. As you've heard, the level of violence, the level of destruction in our communities is unprecedented. And unprecedented times require action. There is no one thing that one person can do that's going to stop the mass deportation plan, but it must begin here. It must begin in this house. There is much that our state can do. So today we are gathered together in this new beautiful coalition, broad coalition, where you're going to see us hopping around from one meeting room to another meeting room, faith leaders, labor leaders, lawyers, activists, immigrants who are impacted by these policies. You're going to see us walking these halls, talking to legislators, and repeating our message over and over again. We must act. And to repeat the 3 priorities that our coalition has established as something that is doable, that other states have done, that will have a real impact, and that can be done this session. Number 1 again, do not assist ICE. That means no informal, soft, quiet collaboration with mass deportations. Number 2, do not let our police become immigration agents. Don't sign up for a deputization program. Don't fall prey to the money that is being thrown at us by this $170 billion budget. And number 3, fund the fight. Make sure that people have a fighting chance in court, that pass ILDA as a permanent law so that people can get an attorney if they can't afford one in immigration court. So we're here today. We're going to call on our legislators to act. We're going to do this together, and we hope to see you there in our meeting rooms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura, talking about some of the other states, California, Colorado, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Washington, that all have similar programs, right? Next up, I want to call up my sister in labor. Of course, workers across the Commonwealth have been facing attack. Whether, whatever their status may be, people are being rounded up and detained, and we know that these policies and these priorities are critical, not just to ensure the dignity that workers and their families deserve, but also to make sure that Massachusetts as a Commonwealth can continue to move forward, right? There is no competitive Massachusetts without the workforce that our brothers and sisters immigrants bring to our economy. So let me introduce next Carrie Medina, Executive Vice President from SEIU 1199. Carrie.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. My name is Carrie Medina. I'm the Executive Vice President at 1199. I'm here on behalf of my SEIU family that represents over 100,000 workers in healthcare, home care, property services, human services, education, and more in Massachusetts. SEIU members are essential workers who are vital to the health and well-being of the Commonwealth. And yet every day, workers are risking their freedom and livelihood as the Trump administration attempts to de-document those who call Massachusetts home. We've seen the brutality up close by Medicaid and SNAP cuts to fuel the ICE deportation machine, allowing ICE enforcement in hospitals and places of worship, detaining children and separating families with excessive force. Terror is the goal of ICE, yet Massachusetts doesn't have to contribute to this terror. As we've seen law enforcement agencies across the state refuse to coordinate with ICE, we need to make that a reality for every city and town. Safety should not depend on your zip code. Banning 287G agreements let local law enforcement focus on public safety and lowering crime, not targeting and profiling Black and brown residents. 7 states have already taken this step. Massachusetts needs to be next. Priorities laid out today put our resources into people, not deportation. Thank you.
What do we do when immigrant children are under attack? Stand up, fight back! What do we do when immigrant children are under attack? Stand up, fight back! Our next speaker comes to us after a horrifying incident when he was traveling to his volleyball practice and was detained similarly to other children in the Commonwealth that have been detained. Some even moved to other states while underage. You can imagine the trauma that these children are going through. So I'm very, very honored to welcome Marcelo Gomes, somebody who continues to inspire this youth.
My name is Marcelo Gomes Silva. I'm a Milford High School student, and I'd like to say I represent the voice for teenagers and students my age. It's sad to see that a lot of teenagers my age are still consistently feeling oppressed by what is happening. A lot of students are still scared and they don't know what's going to happen to their families and what could happen in the future in general. I'm a senior now, and so are a lot of kids my age. We're really excited to go to college, but there's a lot of things that have been happening that have been making that harder for us. I've heard that FAFSA has been giving less money to students. I've been hearing that a lot of students in college now are starting to struggle financially because they don't have enough money. I feel like a lot of money being funded to ICE to not take away criminals, but to take away immigrants that are helping the country and making the country better, consistently paying taxes and following the laws is just something not right, and it's something that we shouldn't be doing. I don't feel like kids our age, or just people in general, should have to be scared every single day about, I don't know, someday be taken by ICE for no reason at all. I feel like something important that Massachusetts should be doing, which I'm pretty sure they already have started doing, is helping fund lawyers for immigrants, because one thing that is true is that immigrants alone will not be able to fight against the government, especially if they don't have any help. So giving more money to lawyers and helping them out would help immigrants more and more, and we can continue to progress as a country. Thank you.
That immigrants with an attorney are 5 times more likely to be able, right, to avoid deportation. So the consequences are very, very real here. I next want to invite my brother from the fight, from the National TPS Alliance. He is a business owner and a TPS holder, Jose Urías.
Hi everyone, thank you for being here. Hola a todos, gracias por estar acá. My name is Jose Urías. I am a TPS holder and a business owner for the last 18 years in Massachusetts. Soy dueño de negocio por los últimos más de 15 años aquí en Massachusetts. Hoy estamos acá para pedirle a nuestros representantes. Today we are here to ask all political representatives it's time to do the work. It's time to protect our communities. It's time to, if we welcome immigrants to our state, it's time to protect them as well. Our business, they are suffering. Our business, we are short on laborers. And if we don't stand up now, we will have facing serious conditions. As a TPS holders, and I'm co-director of the Massachusetts TPS committee, we doing work every day. We've been on this attack for the last 8 years plus. And it's hard to run a business and defend your family as well. It's hard to run a business and defend your family and thinking if your kid is gonna finish college. The trauma we are putting on our kids today, they're gonna have consequences later. They are US citizens. We should take care of them now, not have them to go through to what they go through. The state should follow the step to the other 7 states and protect our families. Police are here to do their work, not federal work. State and local. What status we are is not their business. They should focus on follow what they should be doing. If we don't help business owner with the shortage of labor, a lot of our families, and they're gonna be shutting the business on this winter, especially on restaurants, small owners. They are hurt. Today is the day, so we have to act to our politician. Today is the day. Today is the day to stand up and show us, not just words, just with actions. So the day to take action is today. Estamos acá para decirle a los políticos que el día de tomar acción es ahora. Protejamos a nuestras familias y nuestros negocios. Es hoy. Gracias.
It reminds me of not just the workers, but the children, right, that are caught up, the families that are caught up in these situations. As somebody from a union that represents janitors, airport workers, security guards, and workers at higher education institutions, we too have members that have been recently detained. And I've had to sit at those kitchen tables with the families and children, right, hanging and tugging on my elbow, hoping that I can bring some sort of promise as to when they're gonna see their family again. And Jose reminds us of the urgency and the action that we need to take. And that day, as Jose mentioned, is indeed today. Thank you so much, Jose, for your courage and for sharing your experience. Next up, I want to introduce an ally, a partner, a leader who has been with the immigrant community all along. Our teachers who have a unique role in the classroom, right, with our children and the children of these families. Also a leader who has fought for an immigrant driver's license in this Commonwealth, that we couldn't have done that without the commitment from the Mass Teachers Association. Please welcome President of Massachusetts Teachers Association, Max Page.
Good morning, fighters for justice. It's really great to be here. As Pablo said, I'm Max Page, President of the Massachusetts Teachers Association. We represent 117,000 educators across the Commonwealth, from early education to public higher education. And I will note that yesterday we celebrated our 180th birthday. Now, I will say 180 years from now, Massachusetts activists, yes, there will still be fights for justice 180 years from now, I'm afraid. They'll look back with respect and thanks for the Protecting Massachusetts Communities Coalition, and I'm really honored to stand here with you. I can't say that over all of our 180 years of our union, we have defended immigrants in our community, but I can say now, as a son of an immigrant, that in our recent history, protecting our students has been front and center in our work. I and the MTA actually go way back with Mira to the early 2000s and the fight for in-state tuition for all of our residents. Took too long, but we won it. That's a great victory. So I think everyone, we certainly say in the MTA, and I think everyone in this room believes that public education is the foundation of democracy. No public education, no democracy. No place for young people to learn to read and write, to learn math and science, to know truthful history, to become future citizens and good parents and friends and colleagues. No democracy. And the foundation of the foundation of democracy is this most precious value and commitment that our members make, which is that every young person is welcome in our schools as their right as human beings and as residents in our Commonwealth. Every child. We do not ask if you can pay. We don't look at what your skin color is. We don't look at a passport or a green card. Every child that walks in the door gets and deserves, as their right, a public education. That is why the kidnapping of our children and their parents, as happened in Milford, and it's such an honor to be in the same room with Marcelo today. And in Everett, and in Worcester, and communities across the Commonwealth is so cruel and repulsive. Many in this room may know the all-important Plyler Supreme Court decision, which in 1982 established federal guarantee of the right of education for immigrant students. The court said something really remarkable. It is that, quote, public education is not a luxury, but a cornerstone of our society, and its denial to any group of innocent citizens is a grave injustice. And furthermore, denying education takes an inestimable toll on the social, economic, intellectual, and psychological well-being of the individual and poses an obstacle to individual achievement. If a person constantly chose to deny children access to food and water, medical care, and shelter, you would call that unacceptable cruelty. You would call it child abuse. What the court said, and what we say here loud and clear, is that denying children access to their right to a public education is unacceptable cruelty and child abuse. We will always fight for better quality public education, but we in the MTA are here in partnership with all of you because we have to defend the most basic of rights, the rights to a public education. Because of the deportations, because of the kidnapping of our children, because of the fear, thousands of young people have been forced for their own physical safety and freedom to stay away from school. That's why we, and I mean all of your beloved educators in your public schools and our union, will stand with you in this coalition's priorities. Massachusetts, do not assist ICE in making civil immigration arrests. Massachusetts, do not turn police into ICE agents. But Massachusetts do help prevent deportations by passing the Legal Defense Act so that immigrants have the legal help they need in their fights in court. So in this week of Thanksgiving, I just want to offer a thanks to all of you to being in this struggle, to leading this struggle, and for your commitment to achieving another measure of justice. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for being here today, but hard to not think about the empty place settings, right? Of many, many families that will not have their family member with them this Thanksgiving. If you can repeat after me, don't assist ICE.
Don't assist ICE.
Don't turn police into ICE agents.
Don't turn police into ICE agents.
Fund legal help to fight deportations.
Fund legal help to fight deportations.
Those are our priorities. That is our focus today. Thank you very much, everybody.